besides
rolling.
Okay, so what I think is also another very exciting event in our lives is preparing for the Norman Seeff exhibition at Norval Foundation. That's a biggie.
So a bit of a progress report. You've been in conversation with Norman Seeff over the last year, or?
Seems like forever. We've rekindled after many years. You know?
It's a great collaboration.
Well, Norman was probably the first person that I ever spoke to. Now, he was a doctor at the time, and he was dabbling in photography. And we were walking up Hillbrow Street, and I said, Norm, you know, I'd really love to be a photographer. What do I do?
You asked him?
I asked him, and he said, well, Gav, maybe buy a camera would be a good start. And I went, good idea.
Good advice.
and then he took me up to his flat and showed me some of his latest pictures, which were very day for night kind of feel to them. And then he left town because he couldn't deal with the political situation as it was, and he went off to London. And then I think he was there for a while, and then he went to New York, and he got a job in New York designing covers, etc. And then he decided for LA, and he went to LA, and the rest, as they say, is history. So he started photographing rock bands, musicians. And one of the first covers he did wasn't Crosby, Stills and Nash, or was it? Anyway, it was a resounding success because they chose it as a center part to their record album. And anyway, he got connected. I think Alan Finger was there, who was a local boy, moved over there with a bit of yoga.
And started, local from South Africa?
Yeah, from South Africa. And then he introduced Norman to one or two people, Barbara Streisand and a few, you know, the locals. And all of a sudden he was in this groove taking photographs of pop stars like Tina Turner, Ray Charles, blah, blah, blah. Sure. And then somebody said, listen, you know, you should be doing more than just photographing them. You should maybe start interviewing them, talking to them. So out came the moving cameras. And that started a trend, and some 500 interviews later, with an archive more unique than the world itself, from from Jobs.
Steve Jobs, yeah.
Steve Jobs.
500 interviews.
Ray, 500 interviews. They're all in an archive. He didn't have the money at the time to process the film. So it just got archived, which is an interesting part to know how 40 years of archiving, how did he archive it? Because he didn't have money.
The importance of archiving.
He had cans and cans, yes. So anyway,
it would have been film cans, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, slowly, he started to unravel and start this whole new thing called sessions. Okay, he's also quite sort of immersed in communication, and his byline now is the power and the passion to create. That's what he hangs everything on. That you know, the intention. He's got this figure of a horseshoe. He says there's no way you can shortcut. You have to go the distance.
Yes, he has a whole speech about it, where he talks to
theory, yeah,
college students, and not only college students, but that's what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, in a nutshell, he was somebody with a gift at the right time and the right mindset and the right influences to get him on that road. It makes a lot of sense. But he was way ahead of his time, because if you think about it, Now here we are going, oh, let's do an interview. Let's record that. Because it's easy, because everything's digital. In those days, you had to load up a camera with film.
Which cost a lot of
film,
money.
which costs a lot and also didn't last very long. So you get a 400-foot can, lasts you 30 minutes. Meanwhile, you've got a session going on for like
2 hours.
2 hours or whatever,
least,
you know. So he had lots of cameras from all angles, and so what he did is he captured a unique collection of interviews never before
And it's amazing.
seen.
How long do you know?
And now he's Renaissance, you know, he's in his
That's it,
Renaissance. Everybody wants a slice of Norman, okay, including us. And I've always said, like, Norman, we need to introduce you back into your hometown. Okay. And so we approached a girl called Heba El Kayal, came to town, got a job as a curator at Norval. And she and I were quite pally, and we were talking, and she said, well, you know, I've got to think of things to present as ideas. And I said, well, here's an idea. Norman Seeff, rock and roll man. Bring the show to town, bring LA to town, you know. Anyway, she presented it, and they went, some of that, thank you, yes, please. Heba ended up going back to London to carry on life as is, but Norval hung on to the idea and then called me in, and now we're in the process. Carl Nell's going to curate. Been in a lot of discussions with Norman. Norman's he's actually a very easygoing guy.
He seems very...
considering he is more fucking rock and roll than the rock and roll themselves, you know. But he's a lovely guy. He's now in his mid-80s, I think. So
No way.
He's no kid.
Really?
But
Mid-80s? He doesn't seem like it at all.
So he's, and he works with his COO, Chief Operations Officer.
Yes.
America's always got titles. You know? Antoinette Peregrine. It's fantastic, fabulous. So we have lots of conversations, and now the date is set for the 12th of September, Norval, Exhibition Hall number 1. And what we're going is wallpaper. It's the only way it's affordable.
Also, to have
you cannot work with dollars in South Africa. It's just off the charts. So we've decided to go the route. And to me, anyway, it's more of a show than a photographic exhibition. It's more about the presence. It's a journey, and it's wall to wall, ceiling, floor to ceiling images of all these rock stars that he's photographed, okay? And at the center of it all is an ongoing show of him in action, in conversation with these people. So, you know, I'm kind of working on the idea that if everybody that goes in there doesn't come out in under half an hour, we got a show. It's a success. It's on for 5 months, and in many ways I kind of got mixed feelings about it. Like, is this really going to amount to something, or will it be a bit of a flat end? So I'm just having apprehension. I told Norman, I said, I'm not sure whether I'm depressed or I just suddenly thought, is this going to work?
But that's maybe good, sort of jitters that you have.
Well, the point is to me that everything, absolutely everything, from the moment somebody walks through that door, the show begins. It has to. That experience has to work.
Yeah.
We've got a short window of 8 days to get everything installed and done, which is nothing.
Yeah.
Considering, okay? And so you've got to feed that machine or that experience in every single way that you do it.
I mean, we're also going to document the process too, which is great.
Yeah. Well, talking about that, stop frame.
Yes, time lapse.
Installation time
of
lapse.
the installations, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Should be nice, you know?